Here's Brody Brazil.
During the legislative session, Steve Hill said there will be $15 tickets if you're worried about affordability and families and locals going to games. As a person who's gone to Las Vegas and has been gouged, shall I say, over at the Aria Hotel where I accidentally moved a water off of its sensor, and I think it charged $10 just for a bottle of water in the same Vegas where there's resort fees and everything costs a little bit more. But you know what? It's a premium. Like it's the model of business. If you're willing to come there, you're willing to spend it. Anyway, do you really think that there could be $15 tickets to go to a Major League Baseball game in 2028 in your town?
Yeah, sure. They're terrible and they're playing a terrible team.
Really?
When the Red Sox and Yankees played towards the end of the year, you could get tickets on the resale market for like $1.
Well, I'm talking about from the original point of sale. If the team's gonna sell them, right? If you're gonna,
they'll have like 10 seats in the nosebleeds for for Boy Scouts. There's no way they're going to be able to pull that off. And also like the fees that they throw into it's going to be $15, but you're going to have to pay this fee, that fee, that fee. It's going to be $42 a seat. I'd like to see it. Sure, it'd be nice. I don't foresee it. And also okay, fine. So you got a $15 seat. How are you getting down there? There's no public transportation here. So you're going to probably have to drive. And there's buses, but who's taking the bus? There's 40,000 people. You're all going to take an RTC bus there? I highly doubt it. So there's $50 for parking potentially. It could get pricey pretty quick. Listen, I love baseball and I want to see baseball here. And I'd love to see I'd love to see a team here 100%, but also if they're going to expand and you have some this ownership group, from everything I've heard, not just from you, the Raiders supposedly can't stand these people. Fine, sell the teams, keep them in Oakland, and then just have a new expansion team. That way, expectations are super low. Like brand new team, they're going to suck, but hey, they'll bring in other things, something to do with the kids. Great. But when the tickets are super low because we're facing, say, the Rays who don't travel well, and there's only 7,000 people in the seats, hopefully, how are you paying the bill? How are you paying the bill? Like, he's a multi-billionaire, and he knows by moving this team here, he's going to increase the value of the team. It's been proven twice now, and it'll continue to happen. Why are we footing this bill? It drives me nuts. It just drives me nuts. And it's not just a Vegas thing. It's everywhere, but particularly here. It's like, man, they'll make the money back. They will make the money back. I did the napkin math. It was 30,000 and just figuring out how much we're paying and all that stuff. We could make that money back, but they need to fill it pretty decently. Yeah,
on a regular basis for a lot of years. I want to address, I guess it's criticism I get here on even on this YouTube channel. I get people saying the A's will be different in Vegas. Las Vegas will change the A's, and that's obviously a perspective from Southern Nevada. Where does that come from? I mean, I'm not saying that's false. I think the A's largely have to change their business model of player payroll and what they spend, and even I want to talk to you too about what this stadium needs to be, right? If you're going to do this and you're going to compete with the Spheres and the T-Mobile Arenas and the Allegiance, what do you really need to do there? But where does that come from? People in Las Vegas saying, well, when they get here, we're going to make them different.
Well, in some cases, you get some people just have blind ideology for how the Golden Knights did and maybe not realizing how incredible that story is.
Yeah.
But in other cases, the Raiders came here and they've invested a lot, they still suck, but they invested a lot. You can't say they haven't. And I think that the belief is that the A's will come here, like they're saying, and that they're going to invest. I just wish that they held their feet to the fire to say, we're going to do it. And we promise that as part of this deal, we are going to spend at least the league average on salaries every year.
Yeah.
We're going to put it in writing. Then it'd be all right, cool, for sure. It only benefits them to invest in their own product and have this, new hot market to have things elevate. So people that love Las Vegas. We get dunked on a lot, there are people that still don't think that we should have a hockey team because they think that Las Vegas only has a population of 600,000, not realizing there's more people in the valley and there's other cities and there's unincorporated parts of Clark County. There's a lot that goes into it. There's over 2 million people in the valley. But yeah, there's going to be cheerleaders. But in the same breath, there's people in Oakland that are saying, no, we want this team. And I get it. You don't want to show up for a team that sucks. You don't want to make the rich richer, even though they're not giving you anything. I get it. It's a delicate balance. But I think they would have some success in Vegas, but I don't think we'd pay the bond. I think that if they just keep continuing to do mediocre and just trying to do the bare minimum to be able to get what they're getting from the rev share,
yeah,
then we're going nowhere. So
what does this ballpark need to be? There was recently an article that came out said the A's designers are trying to have that wow factor, but wow within a budget. And I look at other entertainment options. I mean, here in the Bay Area, the Giants are a very popular thing. Their ballpark is a beautiful thing. I'm sure you've seen it. Maybe you've been to San Francisco. But if the Giants are their competition here, and then they go to the Las Vegas Strip and, performers are doing residencies right up the road, and there's the Sphere now. Are you seeing that there might be some competition there? And what does a ballpark need to look like to compete with that?
Well, I don't think that baseball is competing with the Dell. I think baseball is the destination. So you can't beat Adele. I mean, really. U2 Sphere is amazing, by the way. It's also stupid expensive.
It does look amazing.
Oh God, it's gross. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a competition. I think really where the competition is with the other teams. There's only so much dollar locally to go by. And when it comes to tourists, if you find out that you're in town and you just happen to be from Toronto and the Blue Jays are in town, awesome, sure, I'll get in. Or people are like, hey, the Red Sox are playing Tuesday through Thursday in May in Vegas. You want to go? And people they'll find an excuse to go.
Yeah.
But here's what I really think it needs to be. It does not need to be retractable.
I don't think it's going to be. I think the cost and the size limitations. I think it's being advertised as that now because it's sexy. But I think when it comes down to what it has to be, it will be a domed stadium with artificial turf. I think it has to. Yeah,
it does not need to be retractable. It could have like something where there's no tray that you could pull out like they have for the Raiders.
Right.
But like the Raiders at Allegiant Stadium, they have these lanai doors that could probably cost God knows how many millions of dollars to build. And they have literally never opened them for a single ticketed event ever.
Right.
So just save the expense. When they play, excuse my language, it's going to be hot as balls. Just keep it closed, air conditioning, done. That's how I do it. You can't even put windows out to the Strip because you're going to have 3 big Bally's properties right there.
Right.
So, LED lights, a little whiz bang action, maybe a pool and we go a little Arizona there, whatever. Right. But ultimately put a good product on the field. If you want the locals to show up, they're not showing up for losers.